Are you struggling with menopause? Well, I'm going to share a thing called a mindful menopause morning or a mindful morning routine for menopause. And there's going to be three M's that I describe here. And the reason I wanted to share this with you is because one has been honestly transformational in my own life, going through this perimenopause, menopause phase myself. And those who are new to the channel, I'm happy to have you here. My name is Dr. Laurie Marbas. I'm a board certified family and lifestyle medicine physician, meaning that I specialize in nutrition and helping people build healthy habits and understanding what they need to do specifically for their own body to feel better. And so, can't wait. Let's just go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to pull up my notes here. So first of all, remember that menopause, it brings a lot of different emotional, physical, and mental struggles that can really disrupt your quality of life, right? From hot flashes to mood swings to sleep disturbances, anxiety, depression, weight gain. And the symptoms can really feel overwhelming. I mean, even in my own life, 8 months ago, I was a runner. I love to run and exercise. I ran the half marathon in Boston last year in November. And lo and behold, my hips started hurting. I was like, well, this is really strange. I'm coming down off, a pretty rigorous running schedule, but it wouldn't stop. And then my period stopped and other things started occurring, like the hot flashes. And they weren't, all day, every day, but they were enough that they got my attention and they came at 3 a.m. every morning. So I took some steps to mitigate that myself. But one of the things that has really helped me just dealing with this transition of feeling like an alien is taking over your body is a mindful morning. And it started with just mindful walking, but I wanted to highlight some of the other things that have been really, really helpful. And then I'm going to share a little bit of why it works. First of all, let's talk about the three M's. They're meditation, musings, and movement, right? So now medication really just kind of helps you find calm in the midst of the chaos that is menopause. And it can be quite powerful for managing stress and anxiety that often accompany menopause. And then just by dedicating a few minutes, and I'm not talking more than maybe 5 minutes to meditation, you can really cultivate a sense of calm and mental clarity. And it really just sets a tone for the rest of your day. And why does it work? Well, it helps, when you look at the research, it lowers cortisol, right? And we understand that is your stress hormone. And when you meditate with that decline in cortisol, it promotes a relaxed state of mind. And so how do you start, right? If you've never done this before, it can feel a little weird and uneasy. You just need to find a quiet spot, like I said. Maybe you want to, put your alarm clock for 20 minutes earlier as we do some of these things that I'm mentioning, maybe 30 minutes if you can. But when you start your meditation, you just sit quietly to start. And basically, you just want to feel comfortable, put your feet on the ground. You can sit on the floor, you can sit in a comfortable chair, sitting up. You may or may not want to close your eyes. Some people feel more comfortable and able to close their eyes and really latch on to a few things. I have spoke about using your breath because that takes you away from, future tripping, what I call, where you're thinking about the future and anxious and worry about that, or thinking about the past and stresses and whatever that brings up. But when you focus on your breath, there's this thing called an observer effect, right? So you can't be somewhere else in your mind if you're observing something, right? Your attention is in the current moment, that mindfulness practice. And so really just a matter, and there's no special breathing that's involved. It's just your body's already doing it. So you just monitor it, right? You might find yourself taking a deeper breath than normal and really paying attention to the outflow. And then noticing that little gap of space between either when you begin the new breath in or you let the breath out. There's a little time and space. And that is really, really cool, just to be aware of the space between breaths, right? And as you start doing this, you'll learn about, I'll talk more about it maybe later, just providing space in your life, space in your routine, space in your thinking by providing some stillness. But this gives us stillness, right? It just helps us connect to that deeper self that really understands what's going on and just gives you a moment of clarity to start your day instead of waking up, scrolling on the phone and getting worked up and stressed out and or running out of time and thought, and just all those things that come in the first thing in the morning by looking on social media or just figuring out what's going on in the day. Just give yourself a few minutes for mental clarity, and I promise you it will be life-changing if you do it on a consistent basis. And so the next thing is what I describe as musings, right? I had to come up with an M, but musing seems appropriate. But basically, it's just a reflective writing for emotional clarity. And so this really can provide a therapeutic outlet for expressing your thoughts and emotions, talking about what is going to happen the day, or maybe you're stressed about something else, or just basically it's just a brain dump, right? Everything that is coming to you, or maybe you ask a question that you've been struggling with, because writing it out, and I mean physically writing, not typing it, writing out in a journal, maybe 1 to 3 pages, just to really let the flow go. And when you do that, I think there's a few things. One, you started it with meditation, right? You've done that 5 minutes, and now you're actually centered that you can actually start writing. And what I found to be super helpful is really writing a question that maybe I'm struggling for an answer for, or I sometimes will just ask, I don't know what question to ask today. What should I be asking? And your mind starts going through all the different things that have been bothering you, or maybe you're struggling with, or maybe you're worried about an outcome about something. Those things just kind of pop up, and before you know it, your mind starts really focusing in on solutions for you. And it may not come in that writing session, but I think you'll be surprised that you're going to start having more aha moments, more coincidences of things like, oh, that's the solution I've been looking for. That's fantastic. Because your mind is looking for it, right? You're putting forth the thought and the energy to that solution that you're looking for, that problem that you need an answer for. And so the really cool thing about this is it really helps you reduce anxiety and provides that emotional clarity around something, right? So you're not just reacting to something. Let's say you have a struggle at work, or struggle with one of your children or a spouse or a friend or something. It really just helps you put it on paper, dump it out, not just these emotions that you're responding to or just bubbling up, but you're just putting it on paper. And many times that alone, you'll find that you start changing the narrative as you write, right? So maybe it was first the complaining piece, and then it starts saying, the more frustrating things that are coming. But speaking of how you begin, I do want to mention there is a way that can be very helpful to start your daily musings. And that really is starting with a prompt of gratitude. And when you come from a place of gratitude, you're going to find that your writing is different. It's a different quality. And you are more likely to find the solutions that you're seeking for these struggles, right? So if around menopause, let's say you're feeling like, and I'm tired of feeling anxious, I'm tired of feeling tired, what should I be doing, right? But I'm grateful for the fact that I can seek help. That I'm thankful that I've lived long enough to go through menopause. I'm thankful for this transition time in my life that I feel like I'm becoming more wise, right? That it's forcing you, menopause is forcing you to look inside, right? And understand that that your self is transforming, like the butterfly, like the caterpillar that goes through the cocoon and emerges as a butterfly. You go through this phase and it is strong. And I think just the wisdom that comes, and the menopause, I feel, has a very unique and makes you pay attention to yourself, when so many times women don't take care of themselves for the first many decades of their life because they're always serving others or caring for others and put themselves on the back burner. But menopause pulls you in such a state, physically, mentally, emotionally, that you can't move forward sometimes without paying attention and becoming aware and present of what is going on in your own body. So that's the cool thing about this. But the writing piece, starting with being what you're grateful for, and then moving into the next phases of asking the question, or just, sharing what you're feeling that day. That's okay too. But just giving you some ideas. What has worked for me is that I find it as an opportunity to find solutions, but I don't go into it expecting, oh, I'm going to have an answer for this question by the end of my writing. I have a general question. If the answer comes, great. If it won't, I know it will come later. And I have complete faith that that works because I've seen it work over and over and over. Next is movement. Mindful movement every single morning. And it doesn't have to be, prolonged. I like to go for a mindful walk every single morning. It is where I listen to particular books or podcasts, or just being aware of the natural environment that I'm in. And it has really changed the quality of me, my human being existence. I feel much more calmer and relaxed and less stressed about things in general. I feel like my stress has gone to almost zero most of the time. And before I was a worrier, always thinking about things, but now I just understand things will happen as they will, and I'm completely accepting of that. And I truly feel that the mindful walk, which was forced on me by menopause because I couldn't run anymore, but I could walk, to make me slow down and really have an introspective time and connect with one, nature, but two, also just myself and my own thoughts. But many times I'll find that I'm walking in the chatter that will come sometimes in our heads, it dies down. And that has been such a lovely relief, right? Of the chatter, which is oftentimes negative, especially for women as we go through this, just kind of subside, right? And so when you think about it, why does that work? But you could do other things. You could do yoga and stretching and different things. But there's been research showing that mindful movement practices like yoga, for example, that can improve physical flexibility, reduce the severity of hot flashes, and really just enhance your mental well-being. That is amazing stuff. It actually has some pretty interesting evidence behind it. So how do you start? If you can do 15 to 20 minutes, it'd be great. If it can only be less than that, that's okay too. But really just start moving your body, because there's so many things that occur in menopause. Movement helps with many things. So I always like to say motion is the lotion for the body. So the more you move, the better you're going to feel, and you increase your sleep drive, which also helps with sleep that can be disrupted during menopause. So help with, maintaining a healthy weight, all those different things, improving insulin resistance, all those things. So let me just recap real quick. It's meditation, maybe just 5 minutes if you're new to it. Writing musings, again, 1 to 3 pages of just free flow, starting with gratitude statements, or potentially something else. If that doesn't work for you, that's okay too. Next is movement, and just using mindful movement. It can be as simple as walking, yoga, stretching, whatever works for you. Tai Chi, Qigong, or Qigong, can't remember how you said it, but the different movement practices, whatever works for you. Again, great research behind movement helping lots of different things. So really, I just wanted to share that mindful morning and the 3 M's with you. And I also have a free masterclass that if you're struggling with menopausal weight gain, or just weight gain in general, sometimes we don't know how to start, right? We've tried lots of different strategies and diets and exercises, and nothing seems to work, right? And you're just like, maybe my body's just different. Well, that's a piece that's really important that I talk about in the free masterclass. It's called 5 Steps to Master Your Metabolism and Lose Weight. There's a part of this that you need to personalize, but first you need to really understand where you are, what to do based on your current situation, and then how do you activate that? How do you act upon that? And so I also speak to the 4 biggest mistakes people make in their weight loss journey. So I hope you find that's helpful. The link to register is below, and it's in the bio if you're on Instagram, but on YouTube it is below. And I'm really excited and happy to share this information with you. But I hope you found this helpful. I appreciate you as always. Thank you for being here, and sending you love, joy, peace, and just abundance and healing, because so many of us need more of that in our lives. So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below, and please subscribe. I'm always excited to learn more about you and answer the questions the best I can. So thanks everyone and again, appreciate your time.